Hi, I'm Dawn, and this is where Shabby meets bling. For tonight's projects, I am tapping into my origins, which is shabby chic design. Shabby chic and French country are the two that are the nearest and dearest to my heart. So tonight's projects are perfect for me.
I would like to thank Jody at Southern Seasons for bringing us together tonight, and Annie from Crafting with Indie Annie Jones for joining me in this fabulous shabby chic Christmas collaboration. You will find the links to their channels and this fabulous 3-video playlist in the description box below. I picked up this beautiful wood cutout, whatever this thing is supposed to be. It is cool though. I picked it up at Goodwill for a $1.50, and I thought, how perfect to do something kind of shabby chic with it. I am going to start off by giving it some paint, and I am just using house paint. I'm using a black flat house paint because once this thing's painted all the way, it should kind of give you that kind of illusion of wrought iron. That's what I'm going for. I will be giving this a second coat where needed, and I will be painting in between all those tiny, itty bitty tiny little cutouts. Fun. Fun. It did take some time, but as you can see, it was well worth it. Isn't that beautiful? I mean, it's really, really a pretty piece, and $1.49. Fools for donating it. Fools for marking it $1.49. So I am going to section off a portion, and I'm just eyeballing this because I'm using the cutouts as my kind of my guide, and I'm going to paint a different color on the interior. And the only reason I painted the entire thing black already is because I didn't want like ridges below this, because we're going to apply something to this once all my painting is complete. So I'm marking out my border. What is going to remain black will be on the outside, and the inside will be different. With my border designated, I need to seal it so that the new paint that I'm applying here does not bleed through. So I just went over the interior part of the field with a little bit more of that black flat house paint. And here's the real beauty, is this beautiful, beautiful color. It is a Waverly chalk paint, and can't remember what it's called. I will mark it down in the description box for you, but you will see why I chose this color in a little bit. But once again, I don't know if it's translating properly via a film, digital, video, but it is a gorgeous, gorgeous, deep pink color. Sky pink! That's what it is. It's sky pink. And yes, it will definitely need a second coat. So after my second coat dries thoroughly, I can remove my painter's tape. And look at that. Look at how beautiful and straight and wonderful that line is. Absolutely fantastic. And the color, so thrilled. And you're gonna see right now why I chose that beautiful color of pink, that sky pink. Look at the poinsettias in this beautiful image. This image comes from Traci Vanover Designs, and there'll be a link in the description box on how you can get this beautiful image as well. I did have it blown up. I had it sized larger than what my computer allows. I took it to my print shop, my local print shop, and I am going to leave that a little bit of that white border showing just for a little more contrast. What I'm going to do is create kind of a matted effect. It's going to look like a matted print. No glass, but it will have a legitimate border around it as a matte would. I don't know if I mentioned it, but this image is called the Christmas Ball Transfer. And the colors are so pretty. I am now lining it up so that because I'm going to apply it permanently. And if you're not straight here, once again, nothing's gonna look right. I mean, be precise. I'm eyeballing it, but I tend to do that a lot. I trust my vision sometimes more than I should, but I usually get it pretty good. This is matte, a Mod Page. So I'm taking my Mod, and I am just slowly, bit by bit, starting at the top, and I'm just gonna fold it down. I'm getting quite a bit on here. I don't want too much, and I am just layering it nicely, and then I will fold over the top of the image and use my spatula to gently work it onto my wood piece. And I am working from the top down and the inside out like wallpaper. It simply is like wallpaper, and you work out all the bubbles, all the extra Mod, and then you can take off your tape and see how it looks. My mat will not be of a matting material. I won't be cutting a quote-unquote traditional mat to go around the exterior. I'm going to use this beautiful metal ribbon that I picked up at the Dollar Tree. Silver doesn't go with my dining room, so I have spray painted it antique gold. I will be creating a little bit of a strip of burlap to go behind my beautiful metal ribbon, and I'm going to be using the edge, just the finished edge on this beautiful oyster burlap. This burlap came from burlapfabric.com. I will have the link to their website as well as a coupon code SHABBYMEETSBLING in the description box. Once I have the appropriate length I need cut, I am using hot glue only to hot glue the burlap to my metal ribbon. And you kind of want to be careful. You want to put a little dot and drag it off the side. That way you don't get glue strands in that middle of that opening, because that would look horrible. Now with my border ready, my matting, I am just laying it out, and I'm going to cut more than what I need on each side, on the top and the bottom and both sides. That way I can actually bevel my corners to really make it look like it's a legitimate mat. So, and it's easier than you think. It really is. If you've never done this, if you have done it, you know how easy it is. First thing I'm gonna do with my beautiful ribbon is hot glue it in the middle of the ribbon itself on either side, not the ends, not yet. You're gonna glue the middle, and you're gonna work your way down towards the end, the corners. You want the corners to be free moving because we need to bevel them, remember? So you're gonna get close, but don't glue the ends yet, or you're not gonna be able to cut them. Once we get all four sides done like this, then we can move on to actually beveling our corners. And you just overlap them, and you take your scissors and cut them both at the exact same time. This way you're assured that they're going to meet and that the angle is the same on both strips of your ribbon. And after you do that, then you can come back and glue your edges. And if you want, you can even cut out the burlap behind your metal ribbon. That way you can come back and add a whole piece, or use one piece from one side if this makes sense, and tuck it back and don't cut it until after your bevel is complete. And that way you won't have a cut mark inside that little hole there. I do come back and change this one later so that I don't have any imperfections in my corners. I will be enhancing this piece with some of these items. I know I'm going to use those beautiful frosted pine cones that I picked up at Walmart for sure, and I'll probably disassemble this candle ring. And knowing me, there will be ribbon involved. I love the way my wall piece came out, but I do need to make something to coordinate with it. This ribbon candy ornament was the inspiration for what I'm about to make. I am using a paper mache cone that I picked up at the Hobby of the Lobby, and I am painting it that same sky pink that I used on the border of our wall hanging. I will be giving it a couple coats because I want it coated thoroughly. I did pick up 3 sizes of cones because I'm going to paint the other 2 red, and I'm going to do the same technique on them that I do on my sky pink cone. This is a Waverly chalk paint as well, and it's crimson red, and it's just beautiful. I'll be using this exact same color on some of the final touches on my sky pink cone. I'm only doing one for the video, the sky pink, and these will appear at some point in time. But I'm doing them all now, behind the scenes. Once my paint is thoroughly dry, I am going to add some glitter, some red glitter. And the only reason I painted this is just in case you saw through the glitter at some point. I mean, I'm probably going to apply so much it won't matter, but I like to be thorough. Evidently, I love the word thorough. So red glitter it is. Let's cover this cone. Now for the fun part. I have cut a piece of ribbon, and each piece of ribbon that I use is going to be this length. They have to be uniform to create the uniform tree we're gonna make. So first I cut a plethora of little ribbon strips. That is step 1 in the tree making process. This whole tree is going to be constructed out of these little pieces of ribbon that we fold over upon themselves and glue together. It is that simple, it truly is. But I'm gonna do a little twist on it. I'm gonna do 2 different versions. I'm just gonna glue them on 2 different ways. The first bottom rung is going to be just you fold the ribbon over upon itself to make that little loop at the bottom, and then you glue it on. And you're gonna glue it so that each ribbon is very close to the one that you glued on prior. So just flip it over, you glue it together, and then you attach it to the cone. And then you repeat the process all around that bottom layer. Next layer is going to be different though. I've added that little inspiration piece, a little photo in the upper corner, just as a reference so you can see how the little ribbons are folded. This is layer 2, and I will be alternating from one to the other every layer as I go up. So the first layer, as you saw, was glued on. Now I'm taking the exact same folded ribbon, but I'm turning it the other direction. So you can see how the little loop at the bottom is facing a different direction. This is just for a little variety. We all know I like variety and spice of life. So row 2 will get flipped over backwards, and then we'll go back to the other way on layer 3 and continue, and on and on. I do not want to see glue, dried hot glue. It's ugly, it's ugly, it's ugly. We don't want to see it. So what I'm doing is I'm taking a mixture of my Mod and some of my red glitter, and I am painting over the top of that line, that seam of hot glue. And once I paint over it, I am going to glitter it, add some glitter to it. So it totally camouflages where our glue seam is. We want it gone. I want that edge to be so camouflaged that I am now using this really pretty little, it almost looks like eyelashes. It's pretty. I might use it for eyelashes on something down the road when I make a figure. But I'm using this yarn actually that I picked up at the Dollar Tree, this red, and I'm going all the way around it. And I'm gonna do the glitter and this yarn on after every row on the tree, every row. Here we are after 6 rows up, and you can see that each row is different. That one little loop goes one way, the next row it goes the other way, and it's a little variation. And it looks now like a cross between a really fun party hat and maybe a dress for a Barbie doll. But you'll see that it will start to look like a tree very shortly. So you just continue with the ribbon, then the glue mixture, then the glitter, and then the yarn. And lo and behold, in a little bit, we will have a ribbon tree. My tree is complete, but now I want to decorate it. So I'm going to use some of these little red sparkly ball vase fillers that I picked up at the Dollar Tree as ornaments on my tree. I will also be adding this yarn as kind of like a garland. I'm going to string it on my tree like so. All Christmas trees need a topper, and I am choosing to use this star. Now for a base, I am going to make 2 bases. I'm going to take this little find that I got on clearance at Hobby Lobby a year or so ago, and I'm going to spray paint it. And then this little number I picked up super cheap, resale. And it is an older item. It's cool, it's funky, and if you look at the 3 feet on it, kind of reminds you of a tree stand. So I'm going to paint both items, and that way I've got 2 ways to display my little ribbon tree. I am painting this little mid-century modern gem 2 colors. I'm going to be using my crimson red for the little like bowl top part of it where your water would be held if it were a real tree. And I will also be using this red for that little star tree topper that I picked up at Hobby Lobby. And the bottom, I am painting with a black Waverly chalk paint. So it looks like wrought iron. I love wrought iron. I really do.
Let's take a look at the Christmas vignette I created for my dining room.
Of course, the wall hanging is the focal point. And there you get a really, really good look at my beveled edge, my corner. It came out so nice. I love the whole thing. I think it's vintagey in appearance, and shabby with the burlap, and super chic with that image. That's a nice looking image. Here is the florals I added at the bottom, and my pine cones. And yes, I did tear apart that candle ring. Love the pine cones, super pretty. I added a tassel, also from burlapfabric.com. Very happy with the way this beauty turned out. And my coordinating piece, the little ribbon tree. Love it! Simple yet elegant, and a little bit of shabby with the yarn used as garland, and super chic because of that beautiful ribbon. There's the base, painted up nicely. I chose to use this base for this vignette. Speaking of vignettes, here it is all together. I did decorate one of my little metal sleighs to coordinate with this wall piece. I added some little gift boxes for gift cards. They will be used. I love using things I make. It makes me feel good, you know? It creates just a beautiful little corner in my dining room for Christmas. Make sure to check out Jody and Annie's channels and watch this 3 video playlist. You'll be super glad you did. The links are in the description box below. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, give it a like. Share it with your family, your friends, and anybody that loves Christmas and shabby chic decor. Leave me a comment. I would love to hear from you. You can follow me on Instagram, and make sure to check out my shop on Etsy. You can support my channel by subscribing, so don't forget to subscribe. But for now, This is Dawn with Shabby Meets Bling. Thank you so much for watching, and we will see you next time. Merry Christmas.